I don't just want to make songs for the church. I love to, and I'm going to continue to do that. I might come out with a worship remix of something later on, but I also want to do something else, and but also I don't want to just make songs for the church. I also want to make anthems for the world to sing. You know what I mean? But in 2012, like I was a Rapzilla freshman,
Okay.
and yeah, so I started off on Rapzilla actually, and that's kind of where I got my foundation, I guess you could say. Like I got my perspective. I knew how I wanted to write. I knew how I wanted to sound. Um, I knew the audience I was making music for, and that was kind of just where was. And that's all I knew, to be honest. I knew that I didn't want to write bad music, so I had to write good music. I didn't want to swear because I never did anyways, and I just kind of made do with what I had at the time. And as that kind of progressed, obviously life teaches you lessons, you get experiences, um, you sharpen your skill, you know what I mean? Like you just kind of work on that. I feel like that naturally takes your craft in ways that will look very different than the way that you start. And that's okay. Um, and so definitely my language has changed through my music. My creative process has changed. My approach has definitely changed. The message has never changed, but the approach and just learning to have fun making music, I think, is a great gift too. It's a gift, and you can have fun. People can dance to your music. You know what I mean? I don't have to have a sermon in every song, but I can hide little nuggets in there. You know what I mean? And I love to. I've learned to love to do that. Is really changed that. So
So going back to 2012, Rapzilla freshman, because that's a big thing. That's a big plug to come out. How old were you? You've been really young.
I was actually, yeah. So during the time that I got involved with that church and the people that were there was two other rappers there, and they inspired me. I started just working on music and doing everything. So I was 16, 17.
Jeez. And did
Yeah.
you go by a different name?
Yeah, I did. I went by an artist name called Dezcry, Dezcry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just looked up the list. I was curious to see who was on that list that year. So I see Des Cry. That's why I was asking
Yeah.
your name. But so we have Forever, not sure who Forever is. Social Club. That was
That's
they
funny,
would
hey?
definitely have blown up since then.
Yeah.
Lee Green, not familiar with Lee Green. So we have you, Des Cry, Frontline Movement, T Word, Script. It's been a while since I've heard from Script. Bumps Imp, and Kid, who is no longer Kid. Now he's what is Zaya? Different name, not even in the genre anymore.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. I
interesting to
remember all those guys. Yeah.
yeah.
I guess everybody's understanding of Christian hip hop can it's just literal. Like it is what it is. And I get it. I understand that because that was, again, like probably one of the first songs I heard was a Christian hip hop song, which by Lecrae, right? It might have been different if it was something else. I don't know. But yeah, I've definitely I've learned to really want to, I guess you could say, color out of the lines. That's what I like to say, is just really um, genre bend. And I think I love to say that I don't just want to make songs for the church. I love to, and I'm going to continue to do that. I might come out with a worship remix of something later on, but I also want to do something else, and but also I don't want to just make songs for the church. I also want to make anthems for the world to sing. You know what I mean? For people to give them something to sing. You know what I mean? Everybody's doing that, right? And there is a lot of great artists that do that without realizing it. Like, and I think when you find a hook that is catchy and you start singing it, that you don't find yourself singing things like, like I believe, worship
What
collective,
you
like,
love to do, R. Kelly, I Believe I Can Fly. That's what
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah, yeah. I believe I can fly. Yeah. So like stuff like that, like, that might speak to you, like when you don't want to take the garbage out and you hear that song, you feel inspired, you take it. I'm just kidding. But like when you're at a
don't
time in
feel
your life,
inspired by R. Kelly. Sorry.
yeah, just the song, right? Like, uh, whatever, however you want to see it. Um, but yeah, like I believe that, like, in my perspective, being an artist that is a Christian who who like, this is one thing I would say is, just because you're a Christian doesn't mean you need to be creative. Just because you're a Christian doesn't mean you know, just because somebody's not Christian doesn't mean they're not intelligent or they're not creative. You know what I mean? Like, God made all of us in his image, and that, you know what I mean? We just,
Yeah.
there's no difference. We're all in his image. We just happen to believe in who he sent, and that's what makes us a Christian. So, but we all have gifts, regardless if we believe in him or not. And as you can see, they're being used in great capacities. And there's secular artists who have changed people's lives. You know, help. You know, I see comments a lot of the times on popular videos like, "Oh, this song saved me from depression," or "This song, I was gonna kill myself, but this song, I heard this song on the radio, and you know, I didn't." You know, so not to say that that's the end game, but that's just music working as it is, right?
Yeah.
Because music is powerful. But as a Christian, like, there is obviously a greater responsibility behind the music, and I definitely believe that it's gonna, if your audience is within, you know, loves Christian hip hop, just the basics, you know, whatever, like, great, like, speak to them, right? Like, continue to do that, do what you're great at. I just feel like I just can't help it, I guess you could say, is I overflow with a desire to create all different types of music,